So what's your name? What are you doing here?
My name is Mary Rowe, and I'm the fourth grade teacher for Riana, who is a client of Dr. Dennis and has been working with him with the brain mapping and helping her with some issues she has because she is a child with Asperger syndrome.
But you're a teacher.
Yes.
Why are you here? All kinds of kids have stuff going on. Why this one? Why this issue?
Because within the classroom, it affects a child with Asperger's or anywhere on the autism spectrum is still in a mainstreamed classroom, and teachers, have a vested interest in their children in the classroom succeeding. And I have been totally amazed at what this has done for Riana. When she first started in fourth grade this year, the first 2 months, every single week there was a major incident of just total, complete breakdown, screaming, throwing things, where I'd have to evacuate the classroom. After working with Dr. Dennis, she is 100% better. A perfect example is when the fire alarms go off at school. A lot of children on the autism spectrum, particularly Asperger's, are very, very sensitive to sound, as is Riana. And so when the fire alarms go off, the fire bell goes off, that noise is so upsetting that she screams louder than the bell. And it's very frightening to her. So I would have to basically put her in a bear hug where I cover her ears with my arms and then try to shuffle her out of the room. Since working with Dr. Dennis and the brain mapping and all the work that he's been doing with her, usually I can prepare when it's a drill. We actually had the fire alarm go off.
The real thing.
The real thing at our school. She happened to be sitting right in front of me at the time. All I had to say, and she characteristically started screaming, but as soon as she started screaming and when the bell went off, I looked at her and I said, Riana, picture the bars going down. And she did. She plugged her ears and she got up and she walked out with everybody else and stopped screaming immediately.
So that was a tip from the therapy that Dr. Dennis taught her?
Yes, exactly. And
so let me ask you this. From the time that Dr. Dennis started working with her, how long was it before you noticed any kind of a change in her?
Just within a couple of weeks. Major difference. She also has some posturing that she does when she gets excited, moving her arms and hands in a characteristic way, and that has all but stopped. She now converses with people in a very normal pattern that you would expect. In addition to that, her social interactions with peers has greatly improved. And it used to be that she was sort of set aside and didn't have a lot of friends in the classroom, and that has changed dramatically. Now she interacts with the other children, and anybody coming in my classroom would not know there was any child with any difference in my class.
So what you're saying is she had serious behavioral issues for years before this situation, before she met Dr. Dennis, and then within a matter of weeks everything changed?
Yes, and it continues to improve. I continue to see dramatic evidence of this therapy helping her just tremendously.
So did this include medication? Was that part of the therapy?
Absolutely not. No medication, no invasive strategy of any type. It's all through brain mapping and sound therapy that he uses.
And so summarize this for me, how she was and how she changed.
Riana was a very reactive child, is the way I would put it, in terms of pretty much any little thing. You couldn't really necessarily pinpoint what was going to set her off within the classroom, but any type of change, any noise, lots of kids talking loudly, anything might set her off previously. She started working with Dr. Dennis the beginning of November. Before we went to break on Christmas, there was a huge difference. I literally have had not one single incidence of her being out of control in any way, shape, or form since the beginning of November.
So what do you want to say to people who have heard about Dr. Dennis but might be skeptical that putting on a pair of headphones could really make a difference in their life?
The basic thing is you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I've seen for myself within the classroom exactly what this can do, and this can make the world of a difference, not only to that child, but to her family. Everybody wants their child to be just like everyone else's and to be accepted and have friends and have play dates and to be able to function well within the classroom. And this enables them to do so and to control their own behavior without medication, without any type of surgery or medical intervention. And I just don't see why anybody wouldn't want to do it.
Sounds phenomenal. You're a great advocate